I, 33M, had been with my girlfriend Rachel, 30F, for a little more than 3 years when everything fell apart. We met through common friends at a new brewery's grand opening night and instantly clicked. She was sharp, quick-witted, had a solid career. Honestly, I thought I'd hit the jackpot. We kept separate apartments but basically lived together, spending 4 or 5 nights a week at one place or the other. Her apartment was more convenient for both our offices, so most of the time we crashed there. I had a section of her closet, toiletries, the works. She had a drawer at mine. We'd exchanged keys long ago. It wasn't official cohabitation, but it was pretty close. By last winter, things felt serious. We'd met each other's families, talked openly about the future several times, and I was quietly planning to propose the following spring. Rachel's mom, Carol, lived about an hour outside the city. Carol could be nosy but was usually warm toward me. Rachel's younger sister Jess, 27, was laid back, super into fitness, worked as a personal trainer, and was always easy to talk to. Their dad had passed away when the girls were teenagers, so the three of them were extremely close. That particular weekend we were staying at Carol's house for her birthday. Rachel realized she'd forgotten a couple of special ingredients for the fancy dinner she wanted to cook, so I offered to make the run. It was snowing pretty hard and the only decent supermarket was 15 minutes away. I took my time, grabbed everything on her list, and even picked up a bouquet and a birthday card for Carol because it felt right. When I got back, I pulled into the driveway, gathered the 4 heavy bags, and walked through the garage into the house. Their place is a split level. You come up a short flight of stairs from the garage and step straight into the open kitchen/living room area. I was halfway up those stairs, arms full, when I heard Carol's voice drifting in. "So when is Matt finally going to put a ring on it? You two have been together forever." I stopped, curious but not trying to eavesdrop. Just wanted to hear Rachel's honest answer. "Mom, come on. Not this again." "What? He's a great guy. Stable career. Responsible with money. Treats you like gold." "Yeah, Matt's wonderful, but..." Then the sentence that ended everything. "I'm not ready to shut every door yet. What if there's someone even better out there someday?" My stomach dropped. Carol immediately pushed back. "That's a horrible mindset, Rachel. You don't keep good people on hold like backup plans." "I'm not saying he's a backup. He's reliable, steady, but sometimes I wonder if there's more excitement waiting somewhere." That was all I needed. I silently climbed the last 2 steps, set the 4 grocery bags on the kitchen island, placed the flowers and card next to them, laid Rachel's apartment key on the counter, turned around, walked back to my car, and left. I checked into a hotel 20 minutes away. My phone started exploding shortly after. Texts, missed calls, voicemails. "Where did you go? Did you just leave the groceries and disappear? Matt, talk to me." I sent one single message. "I heard what you told your mom. We're finished. I'll pick up my stuff next week when you're at work." Then I turned her notifications off, ordered a burger and a double whiskey from room service, and sat there trying to wrap my head around the fact that I'd invested 3 years in someone who viewed me as the safe bet while she waited for an upgrade. The next morning I had dozens of missed calls and essays of apologies and explanations. She swore I took it out of context, that she loved me, that her mom pressures her, blah blah blah. I didn't reply to any of it. Instead, I reached out to Jess, yes, the sister. Figured it was the least dramatic way to coordinate getting my things. "Hey Jess, this is super awkward, but Rachel made it clear yesterday she's keeping me around until someone better shows up. We're over. Any chance you can tell me when she's at work next week, so I can grab my stuff without a scene?" Long pause. Then, "She actually said that?" What an idiot. She's working Tuesday 9 to 5. I can even be there to let you in if you want. That's really kind, thanks. Honestly, I love my sister, but that was cruel and dumb. You didn't deserve it. Tuesday rolled around. I brought 2 buddies, loaded my clothes, charger cables, books, whatever was mine, and left every gift I'd ever given Rachel behind. As we were wrapping up, there was a knock, Jess. Figured you could use an extra set of hands. Also wanted to see how you're holding up. I'm okay. Rachel being a wreck isn't my concern anymore. Can't blame you one bit. After we finished, she suggested we grab lunch nearby. I said sure, needed the distraction. We ended up talking for nearly 2 hours about anything except Rachel. Favorite trails, books we were reading, the endless debate over best pizza in the city. Conversation flowed like we'd been friends forever. Before we parted, she asked if I wanted to join her and some friends for a hike that weekend. I figured keeping busy was smart, so I went. One hike turned into another, then indoor climbing, then a small indie concert. Always in groups at first. Always easy, zero pressure. I knew it looked weird from the outside, hanging out with the ex's sister. But Jess was her own person, and the more time we spent together, the more I realized how much we actually had in common that I'd never noticed at forced family gatherings. Meanwhile, Rachel went full stalker mode. Showing up at my building, security had to start turning her away, calling from random numbers, long emails, even got Carol to call me once. Matt, she's devastated. She made a mistake. She does want to marry you. Carol, she didn't misspeak. She said exactly what she believes when she thought I couldn't hear her. That's the real her. Roughly 3 months post-breakup, Jess and I were cooling down after a morning run, grabbing coffee, when the air changed. Suddenly she wasn't Rachel's little sister anymore. She was just Jess. I caught myself staring. You okay? Do I have oatmeal on my face or something? No. Would it be insane if I asked you to dinner? Like a real date? She thought about it for a second. It would definitely be complicated. Rachel will lose her mind. But I don't care if you don't. We had the serious talk. How this could fracture her family, put Carol in a terrible spot, all of it. In the end, we both decided it was worth finding out. First official date was the following Friday. Great restaurant, effortless conversation, that spark you can't fake. When I walked her to her car, she laughed and said, "You know this is going to be a complete shit show, right?" Probably. Worth it. Absolutely. We didn't hide, but we didn't post billboard announcements either. Took exactly 3 weeks for Rachel to find out. My phone rang while I was cooking dinner. You're dating my sister? Hello to you too. How could you do this to me? It's been 5 seconds and you're already with Jess? This is just sad revenge. 3 months, Rachel. And no, it's not revenge. We like each other. It literally has nothing to do with you. Mom is livid. You're destroying our family. You decided I wasn't good enough but wanted to keep me on the bench anyway. That's what destroyed things. Cue sobbing, declarations that she now realizes she wants to marry me, etc. I felt a tiny pang for a split second, nostalgia, not regret, and then it was gone. I'm hanging up. Please don't call again. She screamed that I was only doing this to hurt her as I ended the call. Jess got the same meltdown that night. Rachel accused her of betrayal, said I'd always been jealous of her. The whole script. Carol was stuck in the middle trying to keep peace between her daughters. The next several months were rough on Jess. Rachel basically froze her out. Family holidays became impossible. Jess spent Christmas with my family that year. She never complained, but I knew it hurt. We had many late-night talks about whether we were asking like this were worth the collateral damage. Every time, Jess insisted she'd rather have me and lose the old version of her family than go back 6 months after the grocery incident. Update I posted at the time. Things were going strong with Jess. The family situation started thawing. Carol began meeting Jess one-on-one, then invited me to a couple of dinners. Awkward at first, but eventually Carol said, "I'll never fully understand how we got here, but I can see you two are good for each other." Rachel stopped all contact, moved to Seattle for a new job. Probably the healthiest thing for everyone. 9 months post-breakup, Carol pulled me aside at dinner and said, "Sometimes life doesn't go according to plan, but it goes exactly the way it's meant to." I almost laughed. She'd spent years pressuring both daughters to settle down, and now here we were. 1 year later. Final update. Jess and I just moved in together last month. New apartment halfway between our jobs, with a spare room she turned into a mini gym and one I use as an office. The biggest plot twist. Rachel is engaged. Met some tech guy in Seattle, ring on the finger after 6 months. Carol showed us the announcement photos. She looks genuinely happy, and I'm genuinely glad. No bitterness left. Family gatherings are normal again. Carol now jokes, a little too soon, that she finally got Matt as a son-in-law, just not through the daughter she expected. Jess and I aren't rushing toward marriage. We're enjoying the life we're building, one day at a time. When it's right, you know. And you also know when there's no need to force the timeline. Looking back at that moment on the stairs, arms full of groceries, hearing the truth I wasn't supposed to hear, I still can't believe how fast everything flipped. In one instant, I went from planning a proposal to walking away forever. Hardest and easiest thing I've ever done. If I hadn't overheard that conversation, I probably would have married Rachel and spent years wondering why she always seemed slightly checked out. Instead, I found someone who looks at me like I'm the prize, not the consolation. That grocery run cost me a 3-year relationship, but it saved me from a lifetime of being someone's good enough for now. And the irony? Rachel was waiting for someone better to come along. Turns out someone better came along for me instead. Sometimes the universe has a sense of humor. Sometimes the best revenge is simply moving on and ending up happier than the person who hurt you ever imagined you could be. That's the whole story. Not the fairy tale anyone saw coming, but I wouldn't change a single step.